Hey everyone, welcome back in. This is the Kindle Q&A program with Tim Knox. Today you are not seeing my lovely face. Lucky you. You are seeing my screen. I wanted to do a follow-up video to the last video I did about formatting your books in Word. I had several people tell me that while they enjoyed seeing my smiling face, that they would get more benefit from it if I actually demonstrated formatting in Word. So that's what I'm going to do this morning on this video. So bear with me here as I get the screen set up. What I've done is I've just opened a Word document here, and this may be what your Word document looks like when you get it back from your writer or you write it yourself. It pretty much is in default mode. Now, if you are not familiar with Microsoft Word, you need to get familiar with it. It's not difficult to use. There are tons and tons of tutorials, and Microsoft, of course, will teach you how to use it. But most people know how to use Microsoft Word. So to format your book, what I do is I take advantage of the style sheets that are built into Microsoft Word. And basically what a style sheet is, it is a setting that you can use to format text in large chunks throughout your manuscript or throughout the Word file. Whatever style you have applied to a body of text, you can easily change that entire text font, size, spacing, what have you, simply by using style sheets. So we're going to do that right now. This is just a sample document. You can see I've got a title page, I have a chapter heading, I have just blocks and blocks of text. Well, I want to make that pretty for submitting to Kindle, and I'm going to use style sheets. And that's what you see up here. These are style sheet buttons, and you'll notice when I mouse over them, the text will actually change to whatever setting that style happens to be. I'm going to do my body text first. I use the normal setting. So what I do is I want to go down and first of all, I can either select the text that I want to change, or I can change the style sheet first and then apply it. So what I'm going to do is, just for demonstration purposes, I am going to go ahead and select this body of text. And you're going to have to bear with me because I'm going to be scrolling back and forth here, making you a little dizzy. All right, so now I'm going to change that. So if you go up to the normal style and you right click on modify. So this is I have my style sheet already set up, but you can change it however you like. I have mine set to the Georgia font. I like 14 as my font size. I justify the text and I triple space it. Now I'm not done, because I also want an indentation. That's the spacing you see on the first line. And you do that through the format button. So if I click format, paragraph, indentation, you can see I've got the first line spacing over by 5 spaces. Now you can do a hanging indent, which is a completely different setup. It will indent different lines. What you want though is first line with a 0.5, and you can see here for my body I would like to do that in triple spacing. And the reason I do that, really it's just an old habit, because Kindle has the ability to change the spacing, but just right out of the gate I like to choose multiple of 3. Now if I wanted space before or after, I could choose that here. I don't do that for the body. I like justified alignment, first line hanging, first line indentation, and then a multiple 3, and I click OK. And when I click here, you can see that all of that text, except that first line for some reason, but I can get him, has taken that formatting. It is now Georgia font 14, justified with the hanging indent. So very easy to do. If I wanted to change it, I could go back up to normal, right click, modify, and let's say I wanted to change it to Arial. I could do that, and you'll notice that all of the font there, everything that was applied by the normal style sheet will change. So I'm going to go ahead and go back in and change it to what I like, which is Georgia. All right, you got that? Very easy to do. You simply right click on the style sheet, set what you like, click OK, and your entire body of text changes. Let's say I had 300 pages of text and I wanted to change it to an Arial font. Rather than going in and doing it like this to every line of text or every piece of text, which is just a total pain in the butt, I simply can modify that style sheet. All right, now for chapters, it's always a good idea to use the H1, the heading 1 style sheet for chapters. A lot of people believe that Amazon starts your book at the first H1 tag it finds. I've never found proof of that, but I believe in Santa Claus as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to change the heading tag. Same thing, I'm going to modify, right-click modify. And for my heading, I use Georgia 18 bold with the text centered. Now, I do not want a first line indentation, so I just go to paragraph and I make sure that my indentation is set to none. All right. Now, what I do here is I will change this because I don't like this much spacing just on a chapter, so I'll set that to double. And after I use 12, that simply means after this line of text, put 12 points worth of spacing. It gives it padding. This, if you choose it before, it's padding above. If you choose after, it's padding below. We're going to hit OK there, OK there, and I'm going to apply the style sheet, and you can see now my chapter style. Again, if I have chapters throughout the book and I'm using the same style sheet, when I change that style sheet, it changes them all. All right, so now let's go up to the title, and you can use a title style here. Okay, and I click modify, and I like my titles to be, it varies depending on the length of the title because they will wrap, but I'm just going to set this one at 24 point bold. I'm going to go in here and make sure that I have no indentation. I don't really want spacing afterwards. I'm just going to use a single space because I do like to space that manually depending again on the number of lines. Hit OK and OK, and then we apply the title, and there you go. Now, of course, once you've got this applied, if you want your title to be bigger, you simply make it bigger. It's not going to matter at all. All right. If you want to make this smaller, you can make this smaller. All right. So this is a really quick tutorial on the use of style sheets to format your book. The thing you just need to remember is it's in the version of Word that I have, it's on the Home tab. These are your style sheets. Again, you can select the text, go up and just change the heading into anything or the style into whatever you want. All right. And again, after the fact, if you change that style sheet, it's going to affect all of the text. See, I haven't applied it here. So let me go ahead and just apply that. And again, I'm just going to click on normal, and immediately it takes on the aspects of the normal style sheet that I have set up. Play with this a little bit. It's not difficult. A lot of people are intimidated by Microsoft Word and the style sheets, but again, it's very basic. You are just going to use the style sheets. You are going to right-click to modify, and you are going to end up with a beautiful document that you can upload to Kindle. All right. One other thing that I do on page layout, I do like my margins larger. So what I did was I clicked page layout margins. I like top 1.2, bottom 1, 125 on the blah, blah, blah. All right. What this does is this is setting the margins around the page. So if I turned on grid lines or rulers, you would see where those margins are. So the other thing that I want to talk about is using page breaks rather than paragraph returns. I have seen a lot of authors, they'll come in and they'll return to the next page and then they'll put in chapter 2. All right, and they use paragraph returns. Well, I'm going to go ahead and apply my style sheet there. Whoop, it's a heading, okay? So what happens if I turn on invisible marks, that's what this is. It shows the marks of the different keystrokes. You can see, look at all of those paragraph returns. Well, the problem is this. If I go back up here and start typing in text, it's going to push those paragraph returns down, and my chapter heading is no longer going to be at the top of the page. So what you want to do, rather than use paragraph returns, is you want to insert a page break. What a page break does is it ends one page and begins another. I'm going to go here to insert, page break, and like magic, let me scroll so you can see that. It's off screen. It inserted a page break where I told it to, and it started a new page where I needed it. So make sure you use page breaks or line breaks rather than line breaks, because that way your formatting is going to be able to stay. All right, that is going to do this tutorial. I'm exhausted. It's much easier when I just talk to you rather than actually use my hands and my what's left of my brain. Hey, if you have questions, tim@timknox.com. Be happy to look those up, answer them for you. Also, again, we keep hearing about the coaching program. Hey, it's coming. Patience. Patience is a virtue, not one that I have, but one that I expect you to have. All right. I hope that was helpful. If I can help in any way, find me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Again, email is tim@timknox.com. If you like these videos, please subscribe. It's funny, I'm not on screen and I'm pointing down toward this subscribe button. But subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. You know, this show is like watching a gorilla in a cage. In that scenario, the gorilla would be me. All right. Have a great day. Go out and format a document.